Alright, hello everyone and welcome to this coffee roasting video. Today I'm going to be roasting some coffee on my Fresh Roast SR800 and I'm going to be using this extended roasting chamber which I recently got from Razzo Roasting. Now the extended chamber is actually a total game changer and it transforms the ability of this machine way beyond my own expectations. I was lucky enough to get to use it at a friend's house, so I knew I had to have one right away. So I want to tell you what the deal is with this thing, and then I'll show you the roast that I'm getting at various stages, just so you can see this thing in action. So first of all, here we go. It's quite a bit taller than the stock one, as you can see, and it's also a decent bit more narrow. So since it's more narrow, it's going to actually focus the stream of air to make it more powerful. So you're going to get a ton more bean movement in this, but the real reason that it's so cool is that it's super, super thick. So this is actually 5mm thick glass, which means that it traps a ton of heat, and so since it gets way hotter than the stock chamber, that allows you to roast the beans with much, much more movement than you would normally be able to do if you're using the chamber provided with the roaster. So more bean movement, higher temperature, that's just going to equal a better and more even coffee roasting experience. Now these are designed to fit with any of the Fresh Roast models that you may have, so go ahead and check out Razzo Roasting on Etsy. Now there are a lot of people making these extended chambers, but as far as I know, Razzo Roasting is the only one that makes them this thick, and I promise you that thickness is really the key because it just gets so much hotter, you can really let the beans fly around in there. Alright, so let's go roast some coffee. Now, so most people will be able to use this indoors under their vent hood, but for me, the smoke alarms in our building are outrageously sensitive, and so I just cannot get away with that whatsoever. So I'm out here on the balcony, but just don't want you to think you need to be outside necessarily. Okay, so before I start roasting, I just want to show you the movement difference between the stock chamber and the extended chamber, and then we'll get right into roasting. Okay, so here's the stock chamber. Okay, and here's the extended chamber on the exact same settings. So keep in mind that when the beans are green, that's when they are the heaviest because they're going to expand and release moisture throughout the process. So the amount of movement you just saw is actually the least amount of movement you're going to get throughout the whole roasting cycle. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so we're going to start with the fan on 7 and the heat on 9. Ready, set, go. Okay, so 9.5 minutes and the roast has already been cooled. There's a 3-minute cooling cycle, which is very efficient. So you can see this coffee is looking pretty good. I took it right to the end of first crack, which for me, since I'm focused on espresso, usually is exactly where I want to be. Okay, so that was roasting on the Fresh Roast SR800 with the extended roasting chamber. And I just have to say that I did this exact same coffee, same batch size the other night when it was 50 degrees out, and it took about 1.5 minutes longer then, so I was a little surprised at how fast that roast went, but it is 70 degrees and sunny out here today, so I gotta get used to how much of a difference that actually makes. At any rate, here you go. I will leave you with this. I really hope that this helps you and you found it interesting. And thank you so much for watching. Cheers and happy roasting.